Welcome to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast with Jacob Ayers, providing actionable content to help you along your journey to financial freedom through real estate investing. As the premier asset class, real estate has helped ordinary people just like you amass fortunes. The benefits of passive income from real estate investing will allow you to live a life you want. And now your host, entrepreneur, real estate investor, and apartment deal syndicator, Jacob Ayers.
Hi, and welcome to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast. You're listening to episode 120. I'm your host, Jacob Ayers, and you're listening to Fringe Famous Friday Fundamentals. What a mouthful. Well, hey, welcome back. I'm so glad you're tuning in for this week's episode. Today, I've got some inspiring content about living up to your true potential. But first, per usual, I want to give a shout out to a 5-star review in iTunes. And this 5-star review comes from my good friend, Christian over at CCT Rentals. Now, when you're talking about your friend's opinion of you, you have to take it with a grain of salt, whether that's good or bad. But Christian and I have been friends for a long time, way back before either of us were interested in real estate. So I really value her opinion and this review. And it says, "This podcast is amazing. Whether you're a seasoned investor or trying to crank out your first deal, this podcast has something for you. Monday podcasts start my week out right, and the Friday fundamentals are always the perfect little snippet at the end of the week to keep me motivated." Well, Christian, thanks so much for that review. Well, you'll be hearing Christian on an upcoming episode as her and her husband Cameron are out there, young professionals absolutely crushing it in real estate, taking down deal after deal and building true financial freedom for themselves. So I'm really excited to have her on an upcoming show. Well, hey, today our Friday fundamental is living up to your potential. Do you ever find yourself thinking, one day, just one day, I'll go there, or see that place, or do that thing, or start that business, or build that idea, or be in that kind of shape? If so, great, fantastic. That means you have desires, dreams, and aspirations. The problem is most people stop there. They only dream and never act. Some people are afraid of failure. Others are afraid of success. Some think that these things aren't possible. Others don't want to put in the work to find out. We all have the tendency to overestimate what we can accomplish in a year, and a tendency to underestimate what we can accomplish in a decade. Take New Year's resolutions, for example. How many of you have made a New Year's resolution and not stuck with it? Raise your hand. No, really, raise your hand. I know I have, and here I am sitting, speaking to you with my hand raised. Now think how many things you have not considered or put off because it would take too long, or is out of reach, or is beyond what you can imagine accomplishing. For example, running a marathon, or achieving financial freedom through cash flowing real estate, or any other big endeavor. The thing is, you have so much potential in this life. You can do anything you want. You just have to realize your full potential and live up to it. This isn't some aha awakening moment. Rather, it's a day in and day out practice. After all, living up to your full potential takes discipline. For me, this starts every morning, bright and early. I know what you're thinking, but Jacob, I'm not a morning person. Well, I've got some news for you. No one is a morning person. No one. Yeah, no one is a morning person. No one wakes up to their alarm and despises the thought of 5 more minutes of sleep, staying in their nice warm bed. We all do that. The difference in those that hit the snooze button and those that jump up to take on the day is purpose. You have to have purpose if you're truly going to live up to your potential. Otherwise, you'll just get by with a life of mediocrity. Now, these are all big picture things that require some thought. Purpose, potential, waking up early. I know what you're thinking. What's this guy talking about? These things sound hard and like something you would rather not deal with. Trust me, I get it, but it's really not that hard. Figuring out your purpose so you can live up to your full potential sounds like you might need to relegate yourself to isolation with Buddhist monks for a month meditating all day. But it's not quite like that. It's much simpler, luckily. All it boils down to is find out what you love and do that. It's okay if you don't have this figured out yet. Truth be told, I'm not even sure I do. I'm simply exploring the things that interest me and telling you about them on this podcast. I don't have all the answers. Heck, I barely even know what I'm talking about. The point is, go out there and explore things. Figure out what it is in this life that interests you, what you're good at, what you like, and then go do that. And be the best at it. Dream big, set big goals. You know that's the mantra here on the show. Think big, dream big, and then follow up with big action. This is the recipe for reaching your true potential. Don't let limiting beliefs hold you back. Sure, they're going to come into your head, but sweep them away just as soon as they come in. Don't let those thoughts take up any space in your mind. You can and will achieve success. You can and will reach your full potential. All you have to do is get out there and take that first step, and then take the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And soon enough, before you know it, you'll have accomplished those things you never thought you could have. Well, that wraps up this week's episode of Friday Fundamentals. I really hope you're getting value from this show. Now, I don't mean to just hoorah and motivate you for no reason. I know you truly have it deep down in you to be successful, whatever that looks like to you, however that looks like to you. All you have to do is do it. It's as simple as that. Well, with that, let's talk about the future of the show. We have some great guests lined up. We have our very first repeat guest of the show. That is Paul Moore. He's coming up on a future episode. Paul was part of episode 2, going way back to the early days. So we'll be revisiting with Paul, checking out what he's doing today, what his portfolio looks like. And he's got some really interesting things on his plate. A lot has changed since last year. And I think we're going to have some more of these repeat guests coming up, just checking in with them. And then some new people, some folks talking about lending and raising private capital. So really important, good topics. If you have anything that you're interested about and we haven't touched on the show, reach out to me with ideas or suggestions, or even guests if you'd like. You can connect with me at www.jacobayers.com or on social media. Well, hey, if you haven't yet, please go over and leave a rating and review. It will take 2 minutes and will mean so much to the show. I truly value your listenership. Thanks so much for tuning in for episode 120. Till next time, signing off, I'm your host, Jacob Ayers.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast, providing you actionable content to build your real estate empire. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for personal advice. The opinions of guests are their own. Information is not guaranteed. All investment strategies have a potential for profit or loss. The host is operating on behalf of the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom, LLC, exclusively.